Hi everybody, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So in this video, we are going to be reacting to Uncorked with Brande's replay of her live stream where she and others interview Sarah Anderson from Sarah and Fancy Case. And we're just going to talk about some things from it. I'm going to try to not go in too hard on Sarah, but I do have issues with some of the things she said, and everything that is said, we're going to take with a grain of salt, or at least I'm taking with a grain of salt, because although I am not a fan of Fancy, I don't like her as a person. I think she's an atrocious human being. I also believe in fairness, so I am going to take anything she says with a grain of salt. And so let's just get started. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Oh, where is it? Okay. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and play it. I'm probably going to skip some stuff from the beginning. And not that Brande and everybody isn't interested. It's just I want to, it's a very long live stream. It's 4 hours and 23 minutes. And I'm going to have to break this into parts. Otherwise, I'll be here for a long time talking. And I do have to get to bed tonight at some point. And so I will break this up into several parts. So I was going to go through and just kind of edit through the parts that I want to respond to, but there was so much I found interesting about it that I don't really want to do that, because I didn't want to replay her whole stream and make people not go watch it. But I think because I'm going to break it up and talk about it, that then people will go watch it if they haven't already. So let's get started. Oh, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Uncorked with Brande. She's lovely and she has a great channel and she does a wonderful job. So please consider subscribing to her. Where is play? Oh, I want to make this bigger. Okay.
And so
what did you say, Kendall?
I said that is not our fight. It's not our
right. And here's the thing. I can't take up everybody's fights, guys. I can look.
I'm going to skip this. It's just that they don't want to listen to everybody's bullshit tonight.
I have. It's not.
We will not be. Trying to work out people's issues.
I can listen to you guys. I can listen to you guys. I can give some advice. I can be a mediator. I can do all those things. I'm concerned for her family, and her son has been very sweet to me. There's been a couple of her big supporters that have.
Let's get started so we're not still here.
Okay.
I've been involved. So
I'm gonna try to do this.
Let's get started so we're not still here at midnight.
Yeah.
I want to be here 3 or 4 hours.
So some of this we're going to touch on, guys, and what I am going to ask is that anything with the court case, other than Sarah's got something she wants to say, she'll say that in a little bit. The rest of the court case stuff we are not addressing because it is an active court case. They have court in September, and we need to respect that. Y'all know I don't give two fucks what happens with Fancy, but out of respect, I will give respect even though she does not give it. Let's not.
I still don't want anything to go wrong because of us for Fancy.
Right. And so let's let that play out.
Right. I don't. I'm not gonna talk about the video, and I'm not gonna talk about the actual court case. There is something that happened after the incident that has been brought in that I will discuss, and it's just one brief topic later on. So
I'm going to try to do this in a timeline fashion so that we stay on
right. And I want to say this up front. This is not a Fancy bash. Okay? This is not a Fancy bash for me. This is just about me getting the opportunity to tell my truth and facts and to dispute the lies that have been said about me. And that's it. I mean, I don't want to get into anything dramatic or petty.
Okay, well, I think a good place to start is there's a lot of stuff going around about why you were even with that you, because you were definitely warned about April, and you still went that direction. What got you started to being where you ended up?
Okay,
when things
well,
were good. How did that happen?
okay, so I will let everyone know that I've been involved. Let me go back to, I'm just going to go back to my education first. So first of all, I have a degree in radio and television with a specialization in marketing and management, a minor in marketing and pre-law media law studies. So I'm not just some dummy smuck.
Okay. So this is not, I'm not trying to tear anybody down. Okay. I'm not trying to tear Sarah down, but I have a really difficult time believing that. One of the things is she wrote a 4-page press release riddled with grammatical and spelling errors. And I'm not trying to laugh at her. I'm just saying that is any kind of media study, any kind of program like that. That is like 101. That is like, if you can't write a good press release, you're change programs, change your course of study. So I just don't know if I believe that educational background. I really don't. And I don't understand the pre-law thing, because like the attorney I work for, he or she went for the same thing I did. She went for communications with the emphasis on public relations, and then she took her LSAT at the beginning of her senior year. She took her LSAT. She passed that. By the middle of her senior year, she was accepted in law school, and then the next year she moved on to law school at the University of Florida. So I just, maybe it's just the way she's explaining it. I just really have a very difficult time believing her. But I guess it doesn't really mean anything. It's not that big of a deal, but I just have a really difficult time believing that educational background. But I'm sure people have a hard time believing my educational background, but it is what it is.
Off the street person that came in to like suck up or chase for attention or for clout or for anything else. I had my own thing going on with TikTok. I am mostly involved in the entertainment industry, and I hosted discussion panels. I was never involved in the true crime community. And I can tell you that the true crime community is completely different than the entertainment community. Of course, there's always going to be backstabbing and pettiness and things like that go on in between. But I've come to find out that the true crime community can be very, very ruthless. And
I disagree with that. I think, I don't consider myself as part of any one community, because, if you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I do a lot of different things on my channel. But I've been doing true crime too. And I have found the community to be very pleasant. Now, maybe that's because I'm not 100% all in true crime. But the makeup community, woo, damn. The makeup community is, you want to get in a cutthroat, ruthless community, get yourself in makeup. And I mean beauty, like beauty influencers. Get over there in that community and see what happens. Now, FX makeup, people who do FX makeup and work with latex and create art, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. That's a very different group of people, because you're meeting people who are really into horror and go to conventions and stuff. And those people, I guess it's more, maybe I mean more the cosplay community, but with a spillover into the FX community. And I know I'm getting way off topic, but I want to talk about this a minute. Convention people, it's just different. It's a great community, I will say. For the most part, it's a pretty wonderful community. I mean, of course, you're going to have your bad seeds everywhere, but the cosplay, FX, makeup, horror community is wonderful. And it's probably my favorite community, definitely. I go to conventions every year, several a year. We travel all over to go to conventions. And we've met nothing but wonderful people. And I can't say enough good things about that community. But anyway, back to this one.
There's just so much. You would think for people that claim that they're trying to do something good, that why there would be so much hate within the community. But
you ended up taking part in some of that later on, so you can't just point fingers at us.
No. I am not.
Go back to how you started with.
Yes, no, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm saying that it was a completely different than what I was used to, and as I got sucked into it, then I got stuck in it. And so
Vanessa, we're not talking about the video. We've already said no more about the video.
Okay, so
just ignore the comments about the video for now.
Okay, so what happened was I was just like most of America. I mean, I was a Gypsy supporter. And then when I started watching the documentaries and the movies and things, nothing was adding up. And then, of course, after she got out of prison, everything exploded and there was the prison confessions. And I was like, nah, I'm like catching too much lies. These things don't make sense. So I started to do some research on the case and the situation. And at that point, the evidence and the case files and the photos, seeing crime scene photos, and there was a lot of stuff that became available open to the public after she was released. And the things that I saw just didn't add up. So I knew nothing really truly about the case. I knew nothing about, like I said, the true crime community, nor did I know anything at all about Fancy. At all. Nothing whatsoever. I knew nothing about her. I knew nothing about her platform. In the beginning, no, I did not get any warnings. I did not know anything about her or history or anything like that. I just had come across some evidence that had not been pointed out yet that I thought might be valuable and helpful to the case and the situation and might help Nicholas. That was what I'm thinking in my mind, is that I am going to do something good. I went into this with the truest of intentions and with a pure heart that, that I was just trying to do something good for this world before I passed away.
What good was she going to do? Because we're not getting Nicholas out of jail. We already know this, right? I got to fix this camera. Nicholas isn't getting out of prison, and I seriously doubt that he is going to get a new trial. I seriously, seriously doubt it. And I think that's great that people support him and want to help him and want to get him this new trial and everything. I think that's wonderful, and I think if that's your cause, you should definitely fight for it. And it's just my opinion, just based on my research and what I've done, and anybody can have a different opinion. If he committed this crime, he is where he needs to be. There are a lot of autistic people and mentally ill people in prisons. There are a lot of mentally challenged. I don't know if that's the PC term, but there are a lot of mentally challenged people in prison now. And, there is a lot of injustice injustice in the prison system. And if we start with Nicholas, then who's next? What other, killer is going to, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that because that's not really what this video is about. This is about Sarah's interview. We're going to get into that. We're going to watch that. Marshall got my... Okay.
And so I'm just briefly skimming through TikTok, and I started, and of course that's what, it's all over TikTok now at this point, that she's been released. There's lots of stuff just jumping out everywhere. And so I thought, well, who should I go to talk to about this information that I have? And like I said, I'm just skimming through, and I came across Natasha Cooper, and I came across Fancy. And out of the two, I got the better.
Dreamer, it's definitely not going to be a bash Gypsy. Trust me.
It's absolutely not.
Control.
Absolutely not.
Allow it. I will walk out.
No, absolutely not. I'm just giving you guys honest where I was when this all happened. It is not a bash Gypsy fest. So it's not a bash Gypsy.
She knows my stance on Gypsy, so
mine too.
Okay, so at the time, like I said, I thought, I was just going to try to do something good and beneficial for this world before I left it. And I just, that's where I was coming from. I was coming from.
I mean, I get that. I understand everyone should want to do something useful and wonderful and helpful with their life while they're here. I don't believe anybody is here to do nothing. I think everyone should want to, and really do something good. But, and not that Nicholas doesn't deserve it, but there are a lot of other things that touch human life every day, or rescue animals. Rescue animals, work for a cause. Like, she has all these illnesses, maybe work for one of those causes. If she has this marketing experience, she could volunteer for a nonprofit. I mean, if she's going to work for free, like she worked for free for Fancy, work for free for an organization that's really going to do some good in the world. Okay.
A place of good intentions.
So you just had some information that you wanted to talk to someone about. You've seen Natasha,
yes.
You've seen April, and
yes.
So let's go from there and leave Gypsy off the table, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. So I approached Fancy. I sent her a private message with the bulletin points I had and the evidence and the questions and things like that. And in a few hours, she had looked through it all and was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And I want to talk to you. And at that point, she had just started working with, Ryan.
come along.
And I had told her what my educational background was and what my experience was. And she asked me if I would be willing to come up as a special guest on her live and talk about, my theory and what I had come across. And
So this is another reason, and I don't want to offend anybody, but this is another reason why I question her education. Everything she's saying right now could have been said in a much more condensed form. She's taken a really long time to say a very little bit.
Said sure, and it just, that's how it happened. That is how we came to be, and there was just so much drama and stuff that was going on that she kept inviting me up every time she went live to be a special guest, because I never got to say what I wanted to say either.
Okay, so then her and Ryan has this big explosion. Everybody's running with drama. People are taking sides. Fancy's really getting a lot of hate, a lot of cruel hate. And Ryan left. You stepped in. So
right. Well, see, I had never left. Like, Fancy was still talking to me behind Ryan's back. Ryan.
I just want to say this is off topic, but I'm looking at Brandy's picture up here, like up here in the corner, in her profile picture. It's not very big, but I can see she has great cheekbones. She has cheekbones. A makeup artist who does FX work wants in their chair. Just saying that.
And I told her she couldn't talk to me and that I couldn't come up in the box anymore.
Right.
So
April said that Ryan said that.
Yeah, we got April over here.
Yes,
we don't know that Ryan said that. April said it. Now we all know that she plays people against each other. So
but I will say,
let's not go there. Let's just say, Ryan left, you stepped in.
Right. And my whole goal is, I'm sure, everybody saw that when she was with Ryan, it was a little, the lives were pretty explosive. And so I basically went in there with this open heart of trying to help her. I went in with the best of intentions. My intentions were to help her with her lives, to help her with her social media. She asked me if I would do her public relations and her marketing, and she asked me if I would help her out with everything.
I'm going back to public relations. I am. So I said before, my degree, my 4-year degree, my bachelor's is in communications with an emphasis in public relations with a further emphasis on crisis communications. And if I looked at her portfolio and that press release, I know I keep bringing up that press release, and that press release was in her portfolio, there is no way she would get a job. PR is, like I said, press release 101. Writing is so intense in any kind of PR. You can't just have any numbnuts off the street do your PR. Not that she's a numbnuts off the street, but you know what I'm saying, I hope. Now I'm gonna run out real quick. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I just have to get something. I'm sorry, I didn't show you my butt. I have flesh-colored leggings on, so sorry about that. If you thought you saw a little more than you should have.
And I said yes, and my first thing to tell her was, just don't respond to anything, don't post anything out.
But for free, though, why are these people doing all this stuff for this defunct business for free. I don't even know if it actually ever existed. To defunct, it has to have action. I mean, I know it exists in her mind, but these people are working for free. They're working for free. I don't know what she's promising them, but I don't work for no damn buddy for free. I don't.
Let's, do not respond to Ryan. Let's just keep things quiet and take the high road. And I was trying to make her, because she literally looked insane in these lives, screaming her head off like a maniac at everybody. And I was trying to help her like get control of herself. And that was my intentions. My intentions were to help her. I thought I could fix her. I thought I could help her. That was my goal.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know how to remain nice when y'all. Oh. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
So we know that when April,
there was an opportunity for me to be snarky, and I'm trying to not be snarky.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
So we know that when April throws one out the door or one leaves, she quickly puts another one in there, and she love bombs them, and she prayed for them, and Christine sent them to her.
Like Amberlynn Reed with her girlfriends. Once one is gone, she gets another one in there with her love bombing and adoration and love.
Absolutely, 100%.
You're saving her. You and her, or ever who the person is, she promises all this stuff we're going to do, and we're going to do great things. I mean, it's a pattern every time. I never was there, but you easily can see the pattern. So, is that how y'all's relationship started? Is that how she treated you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was the angel that Christina sent to her. She thought that it was Ryan, but evidently that was wrong, and it was really me. And and you got to understand something about the way Fancy talks and the way she makes you feel. She always uses the word we, and she uses the word team. And and by doing that constantly, she's bringing you in. It's like she's gathering you in, she's suckering you in. And it was, we can do these great things, and we need you.
That's a narcissistic tactic. Manipulation, love bombing. It's part of narcissism. And this is like, I've seen narcissist on YouTube, but this is like an extreme case. Fancy is the most extreme case I've ever seen. And there's more going on there than just narcissism. There really is. And sometimes I'm conflicted because the part of me that cares about people's mental health is like worried about her. It's like, this woman needs to be committed. She needs a 28-day stay in a mental health facility. She needs to be evaluated and properly medicated. But, also, like mental illness is still not an excuse for bad behavior. Hi, baby. Oh, Alan likes to lay by my feet.
On the team, and you were sent to me by God, and you were sent to me by angel, and I don't know what I would do without you. And
God, she says that to everyone,
but I didn't know that. But I didn't know.
Like, she's very easy to read. So I've never asked Brande this, but people like her will usually.
Okay, hold on just a minute. Pause that. Remember that. Let me take a moment. Vanessa, this is not about Ryan Lee. This is not about anything else. This is about Bree. About Sarah. I'm looking at Bree's name in the chat when I said
don't even know why Ryan's name's coming up.
Nobody's bullying her. Nobody's bullying Ryan.
Nobody nowhere is talking about Ryan.
Hold on, ladies. Hold on. Vanessa, please stop. Any more comments about Brian Lee and the bullying? And you're going to be timed out for a little bit because this isn't about Brian. I don't know what any of that is about. I don't. If you were listening earlier, I've had real life shit going on, so I'm not paying any attention. And it doesn't involve me.
I don't think anybody's talking about Ryan.
Listen, Ryan Lee and Fancy are buddies again, so nobody's bullying her.
I don't even care about that. It's like
I don't either.
I haven't seen or heard anyone playing Ryan Lee's name in so long that I don't even know why her name's coming up into this.
I don't know why it came in just now. So, what was your question, Kendall?
My question is the pattern of the type of person that Fancy is. That when she does this new love bombing to her next, whatever you want to call you guys, does she do the trauma connection? Like, do you have a trauma and she connects to it? Do you have this yes. hobby and she loves this hobby? Does she yes. have this illness or you have this illness and she has a better illness, or does she do that type of overt narcissism trait?
Absolutely. I mean, I have uncontrollable rare type 3 diabetes, and then lo and behold, she says she has diabetes as well.
She has type 4 diabetes.
When I question her about her diet and how much insulin she takes,
I want to look something up real quick. I want to look up type 3 diabetes because I meant to look that up. Let's look it up together, you guys. Where's my mouse? Oh, you're over there. Come over here. Type 3, this is an AI overview, so I'll go down and read better. Type 3 diabetes is an unofficial term used to describe a proposed link between Alzheimer's disease and certain features of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It's also referred to as diabetes of the brain. Okay. Type 3 diabetes is a term used by some researchers to describe the theory that insulin resistance and insulin-like growth factor dysfunction in the brain may cause Alzheimer's disease. More research needs to be done to understand the link between diabetes and Alzheimer's disease. Some research studies have suggested that Alzheimer's disease should also be classified as a type of diabetes called type 3 diabetes. However, type 3 diabetes is not currently an official medical term. It is not recognized by national health organizations or the American Diabetes Association. Then we've got type 1, type 2, gestational. I had gestational diabetes with Marshall. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was okay. So type 3C diabetes mellitus. I hope I pronounced that right. It's T3CDM occurs when the exocrine pancreas glands become damaged and cause damage to the endocrine pancreas glands. Beta islet cells in endocrine pancreas tissue produce and secrete insulin. Causes that may lead to T3CDM can include chronic pancreatitis, cystic fibrosis, exocrine pancreatic cancer, previous pancreatic surgery. I think that Sarah has issues with her pancreas. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to look at that for a minute. I was curious.
Or things like that. She doesn't.
When Tori took her to New York to Christina's funeral, she lived off of candy from the gas station and fast food. Diabetics cannot handle that.
Kill me.
Absolutely not.
Also, people with people with auto brewery syndrome cannot handle that kind of carbs.
No, they cannot. And I will say this. Auto brewery syndrome is a real condition, and it does kind of fall in with into the diabetes. It's not diabetes, but it can be in that family because your body is being hijacked by too much carbs and sugars, and it can cause you, because what happens is your body doesn't metabolize, and as a diabetic as well, your body does not metabolize those carbs and sugars, and it turns to yeast.
Nobody ever doubted that it wasn't a real lifestyle.
Right.
People doubted that she was Google diagnosed, and we've sat and watched and seen what she did. And anyway, again, back to, so she does do that vampire suction of trauma connection.
Absolutely. I mean, if you know, if I could say that I had, you know, amputated my leg, and she would be like, well, I did too. Oh, that happened to me.
She did that when I was there.
Okay, well, see, there's all of these things that I guess she has a pattern of doing that you guys have brought to my attention.
Yeah, she's a walking pattern.
But did I know anything about her? Had I ever seen her content? Had I ever seen her? Nothing. Not at the beginning. Not until March. And I started with her in January. So I was completely clueless at the beginning. I knew nothing about her platform, her companies, nothing. I knew nothing. And no one has said anything to me.
So Jesse James says, what did you think, Sarah, when Ryan flat out told you Fancy was just using you? I can tell you that I've been there and I know what Fancy is telling her in the back. So
Ryan never told me that.
She did publicly say that because I heard it.
Yeah.
Did she say it on her?
Ryan tried to warn you. She warned you.
Wait. Did Ryan say that on her platform? Because she never said it on Fancy's platform to me.
No, she said it on her platform. And
okay. I didn't see it then.
I mean, I left many comments, but
yeah.
But she immediately tells people I'm evil, that, I'm a liar and I did all these things and I did all the bad things and it was all me and I took her company and, there's racketeering charges and what are the other charges, Kendall? There's all kinds of charges that she's coming up. Racketeering and espionage, I think, wasn't it? Or something like that. I don't know. I'm corporate raider, I guess. She's an idiot. So
Fancy is such a self-important bitch. She really is.
She immediately tells people all these things about me and Tori so that we are uncredible in their eyes. When now, as things have been coming out, people have been popping up on my video going, why didn't we listen to this before? Thank you. And
listen, I've had people that has been diehard. I mean, and this has just been in the last couple of weeks that has come to us, or I know has come to me and has, I'm seeing it. I see her for what she is. Thanks for bringing this up, or I didn't see that. I'm glad you brought this to our attention. And it's like, why does it take people pointing out the God's honest truth with the proof? Because it's a walking pattern of what she is. So why does it take somebody literally pointing it out? I had to go find it. It wasn't hard. So
Jesse James and somebody else, Sarah Beth.
Yeah, that's not correct.
No, that is true because I watched it, and I watched Ryan say to me while you were there that you don't say she didn't warn you. I watched that live.
Listen, I'll tell you what. The only time I went on Ryan's live was just to let her know that I was not Sarah Jane.
And I think that's when they told you. That's the live.
And she said to me, she did not say she's using you. She just said, don't tell her anything about your life personally, or she'll twist it and use it against you. That's what she told me. But
for what video?
At the same time, Ryan Lee has continued to have a relationship with Fancy.
We're not going. Please, let's not go there because it's just getting attention. Please exactly. Not go there.
But the part about her telling me to watch my back and not tell Fancy anything personal. Yes, she did say that.
Mm-hmm. And did she tell you? She did warn you that don't say I didn't warn you.
Right, but
she told you exactly what April was going to do to you because she did it to her. She even broke it down at one point in time about how she's talking to you. Like, she knows that you're being love bombed and all that right now. She even broke that down.
I would have to watch that video again because I don't recall her saying that.
That's possible. That's possible. It's been a while, so I mean, and there's a lot that's going on, so it could be that you just don't remember it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll give you that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see,
guys, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say this one time and the last time only. No, they did not call a truce. Yes, they did call a truce. And yes, they are friends. They talk every day, and that's the last thing I'm going to say about Ryan Lee.
okay,
They
so let's get
talk
back on
every
track.
day.
Where are we at, Kendall?
Yeah, let's get back on track. I don't care if she's talking to her over there or not. I don't care. That's it, Kim, over there. I don't care. Anyway, back on track with, okay, you went through the love bombing, the trauma connection. Does she start promising you that you're going to be a part of this big dream she's
Yes,
got, and she
I'm
can't
going
make it without you?
Yes, can't do it without me. I need her. I got to be part of the team. I've been sent to her by God, and that I will say, and I want to say this, and this is very, very important.
Okay, this is one of ABG's people. Hold on. I mean, you're blocked, Tisha.
So,
I don't know anything about ABG. I don't know that person. I'm not familiar with that story or anything. Just to get that out there, in case anybody wants to talk to me about that person, I would need a lot of info because I don't know anything.
This is something that I need that maybe will help put things in perspective. And it's something that I can openly admit to, is that I was and still am in an abusive 25-year relationship with a ninja level narcissist to the fucking 10th degree. And
that's funny because I think that Fancy is a ninja level narcissist. So this person she's talking about must be pretty heinous. And if that's true, which I have no reason to doubt it, that person is a scumbag, and you need to grow up and leave her alone.
Because of it, I do have codependency issues. So I am a prime target for narcissists.
Well, I've said before that Fancy pick.
Well, see, if she recognizes that in herself, that she's the prime target for narcissists, then maybe she can do something about that going forward. I don't think she's a narcissist. I definitely get the codependent from her, but she's tough and she talks big, but at the end of the day, and I know we're not talking about the case in this one, but she didn't stand up to Fancy when it really mattered, when it was going to affect her life. And now that is affecting her life. It's just, I'm not blaming her for being a victim. I'm blaming her for, not standing up for herself against Fancy, I guess.
It's a certain type of woman. She
Right.
picks someone that's weak. Now, I'm not saying everyone that she picks is weak, but she's got several types. She either picks someone that's weak, that will not stand up to her, don't see their own self-worth, and they hide behind her proclaim of worth. People that is codependent. People that are attention-seeking and drama-filled. She picks those. And she picks people that is kind of lonely, I guess.
I also think she picks people that are in a situation, maybe they're in a life situation where they're desperate to get out of there, and they hear her big claims like they're going to be these famous documentarians and it's just going to be easy street from then on. I think that she finds people who are in a desperate situation and they hear this and they think, oh God, this might get us out of this. This might get me out of this problem. And, because I mean, me, back in the day, 100% of my problems could be solved with money. You know what I mean? And that was true. So the promise of a successful documentarian career is, it would make you salivate if you were really in a desperate situation. You know what I'm trying to say?
Is a word without making it sound even worse. Is they're just lonely, abandonment issues, and that they see her as, because she creates this fake world, and I don't know if they believe it or they're looking for something to believe in, because the proof is out there that there's it's nothing. And
I didn't need.
so it's like that's the four type of people that she picks, and almost every one, because she can't handle strong women. So
that's for damn sure. Fancy does not want any strong people around her at all. She wants people that are going to cower before her and tolerate her bullshit. And she doesn't like educated people either. She does not like educated people. If you're with her and you show that you know anything, you're stupid. You don't know anything about that. She's a monster. She doesn't like educated people, especially women. She is extremely threatened by women. And the women that are working with her or who have worked with her, I believe she was threatened by all of them. And that's why she was so abusive in all of those relationships. She's an abusive, toxic person, and everybody needs to see it. If she was a man treating people like this on her YouTube channel and in her little media life, whatever it is, she would be buried. She would be buried. So why are people tolerating it from her? Because if she was a man, they sure as hell wouldn't be tolerating it.
Say this, that no, I was not attention seeking. I was not clout chasing. I am not a pick me girl. I am not a flip flopper. I do not chase like I said, I'm not clout chasing. I had a good platform with 10,000 people. And if anything, I lost people because of my working relationship with her. So,
and she didn't take that as a red flag. She wasn't like, maybe I need to look into this a little bit. And she,
You absolutely lost the respect and credibility that you had.
Right. And
sure.
So
yeah,
what I believe that the way she suckered me.
And do you notice how she's talking like, and this, and we're that, and, very slow? That's a calculation. That's a calculated move that Sarah's actually doing. And I'm not trying to call her a liar, but I'm saying, we got to take it with a grain of salt because we don't know what we could trust from her. But that talking pattern she's using, that is a tactic. That is a tactic people use to drag out an idea so that they can contradict themselves in the idea, hoping that people won't catch it. That's a manipulation tactic, and that Sarah's doing. Just wanted to point that out.
And was by using, I'm such a strong empath that she used my sympathy, she used my empathy, she used my kind-heartedness, and she took advantage of that by saying, that she needed me and I was going to make her a better person. And that is where I say that I can openly admit that I am codependent. And I did the same thing with my ex. I thought I could fix him. I thought I could make him better. I thought I could make him, stop being an alcoholic,
I remember one of the first conversations that me and you had, and it was after the homophobic post, and I contacted you, and me and you went at it. And by the end of that conversation, we both had calmed down, and we had what I call we were by no means friends, but we had a decent conversation. And I ask you then, do you not see her for what she is? The evidence is everywhere. And the way she acts. And you said, and I have it, you said, I would never act the way she does. But it
Right.
seems to work for her. But that I try to stay calm because it keeps her calm. And I said, you're not going to be able to keep that mask on her forever. It will fall
Right.
off. And he was like, I'm just doing my best. I just trying to get her, keep her calm because so many people's coming after her, and you just wanted to try to help her because at that point in time, it had to be a lot for her because there wasn't hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people coming after her. So I'm sure it was a lot for her. No matter how you feel about her, facts are facts. It had to be a lot. So that was our first conversation. That you did tell me that you just try to stay calm and keep her calm. So
Right.
I can believe that. I believe that.
Yes.
Okay, so
That is how I believe that she was able to. You say she goes after certain people, and I think that that's how I was picked, chosen, used, whatever you want to call it, because she was able to see that, I guess, in me, that
yeah,
I
because I mean there was
was
warnings. There was
I,
warnings. But I on your
Not to cut Kendall off, but I think we're at a good stopping point. We're going to go ahead and stop this now. We will work on part 2 tomorrow. We still got a good bit left to go through, and they talk the whole time. And I got to tell you, it's interesting. It gets even more interesting, in my opinion. It is anyway, because Fancy, if nothing else, is an interesting study. Let me stop sharing this. She's an interesting study. She definitely is, and she's. I actually, when I was in therapy, I just mentioned her to her because she was asking about my YouTube channel and everything. So I was telling her, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know anything about HIPAA," and she was like, "What?" But anyway, I told her a little bit about her because we were laughing, and she said, she wants to go watch her, and I'm like, "Don't watch her. Go watch someone else that talks about her because you don't want to give her views." But anyway, I told her, I said, she's an interesting study for sure. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to go. I'm going to play with the kittens and grab something to eat and then take a bath. And oh, Lordy, it's Jordy apparently has a really super fantastic live stream going on with some girl world stuff going on that I can't miss. So I got to go watch that and cuddle my kittens. So I'm going to talk to everybody later. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you come back for part 2. And thank you, Brande.